Let's look at the concept of hoisting in JavaScript. So hoisting refers to the process whereby the JavaScript interpreter moves a function, a variable, or a class to the top of their scope prior to executing it. And we have discussed the concept of scope, just the video prior, where we described scope as the entire concept in which a function, a variable, or a class is accessible. Now let's look at the concept of hoisting in a function. We have defined a function named greeting while logging hello world, and normally you would define your function and then call it. But to display how hoisting works, we have called our function before defining it. We have moved to the scope, right? And if we run this function, we would see that we get our hello world in the console, even though we are calling the function before it has been defined. And this is because in a regular function, JavaScript interpreter would move the JavaScript variables and classes and everything to the top of the scope so that it is globally accessible. Now if we converted this regular function declaration to a function expression, and we have discussed the difference between the function expression, the function declaration, types of function in a previous video. I think that should be the 10th video. Convert a regular function declaration to a function expression. Now if we try to run this, we are going to get a reference error, that is greeting cannot be accessed before initialization. In this case, this function expression does not allow global hoisting of our code. Let us also consider hoisting in variables. So we have defined a variable called first name. We're assigning to a value blossom, and just before we have defined the variable, we are already calling it. Now let's see what this is going to result in. So we get an undefined. An undefined means that the variable name, first name, exists, right? But it does not have a value. And this is quite buggy. That is why we have new variable declarations such as let. Now, if we use let or const, we can instantly say that, okay, you cannot access this before initialization. There is no point saying undefined, whereby you are now confused as to what error this is. And this is one of the main difference between the var variable declaration, the let variable declaration, and the const variable declaration. It won't also allow us to reference this word first name without first initializing it. I hope you now understand what the concept of hoisting means in JavaScript.